I can't do both sides. It's like which one? Which one's the Faith album? Oh, we've started. Okay.
We have. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Audits. Audits, and it's about being more positive than the positivity that we had last time. Positively positive and how to. So welcome, Ian. Welcome, Terry.
Hello there.
And as usual, we're just going to say, because you know what Ian's like. He does like a little bit of a word, and so do you, Terry. So please remember that anything can come out. And there might be adult content. I meant that way, but it's Zoom, so luckily everyone's. Anyway, welcome to Audits, all about positivity. And I'm going to throw Ian under the bus first this time. So, Ian, I just got a question for you. In your opinion, Ian, where does positivity begin? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh, Brilliant. Um, just to recap, just in case anyone didn't hear you, Ian. Pos- Positivity begins when the the instructor's attitude is neutral. Positivity begins when the instructor is neutral. Terry, what does that mean to you? What Ian said.
Well said, Ian. First of all, totally agree with it with Ian and his fine words again, as always. I'm gonna use I'm gonna use some. I love his cravat. Oh dear. I'm gonna use three long words now in a row. I know, right? Which might become, some kind of record. But it's all about having unconditional positive regard for your student. Uh, and that just means that you understand that they will make mistakes, and it doesn't matter what they do, you're not going to judge them. It's like your kids, like, people you love. Doesn't matter what they do, how bad it is, you are always going to love them. With your kids, obviously. Um, and it's the same kind of thing with these students. They're not stalling on purpose. They're not nearly hitting parked cars on purpose or driving into the curb or anything. They're not doing it on purpose. And it's having that in your head that it doesn't matter what they do or try to do. I'm going to see it for what it is, which is just an action, and I'm not going to get upset with them, get deflated with them, get fed up with them. I'm gonna come from them or come at them from a totally neutral standpoint. And it's a big, big help. So Ian is absolutely right. Well said, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Uh, he's a man of few words, but when they come out, they're quite useful. Uh,
Yeah.
you were saying, Terry, I think you'll also agree, and this is a thing from me. It's not only what they do. Yes, it's acknowledging the thing they do, the mistakes they make, but it's also the opinions they have, the things they say, the place where they come from when they say a something. It's got to go that deep, hasn't it? So if
Absolutely.
if they're saying something, yeah, but it doesn't matter because and they're justifying something or very defensive or any of those kind of things, it's what they say as well as what they do that we need to be unconditionally accepting of. It's just acceptance. It doesn't mean that doesn't change. It doesn't mean that it doesn't change. I can give a good example. Actually, we were talking about this just before, Terry, that we can all change.
So there,
We can all change.
we can all change.
We can all
What do you
change.
mean by that, young Fiona?
Well, I meant that donkeys years ago, before I changed my practices, when I was more of an instructor kind of instructor rather than changing how I actively dealt with people in the car, I can remember when someone cut up my learner or bibbed them for making a mistake. In defense of my learner, I would have a go at the other person. I would say, I would be quite vocal and gesture, and then I was reflecting on this, deeply reflecting on this practice. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, what does it do? What does it justify? What kind of behavior does that make it okay for my learner to do? Where was my head? Where was my focus? And where wasn't I? Because this was really not positive. In my head, my belief was I'm being defensive, therefore supportive. In reality, I'd left them on their own. They were completely alone in the driver's seat, trying to drive a car with someone who's monking off and being really angry. And yes, I'm using my new phrase, monking off. I don't know. It sounds better than any of the other words, but totally left them on their own to drive a car and deal with me being angry. And that's not pleasant. It is not a positive environment.
Absolutely, we've all done that. I certainly have. It's because you think you're looking after them, like you said, and standing up for them. But yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Yeah. Did you hear what Ian said?
No, I don't miss what Ian said. Ian, say it again. Tell Fiona.
I thought he was telling you. I thought
Oh,
it was
oh,
man
oh,
talk.
we're playing
No,
that
man
game
talk.
now, are we?
Man talk.
Oh, he's telling me, is he? I say it again, Ian. Can you just a bit more southern, like not so much like new northeast, northwest, wherever you're from. Up
North,
north,
north. Yeah.
north, Miss Testmaker, north. Um,
No, so the
go on.
positivity and that attitude, the neutral attitude, has to be for us, and it has to be for people outside. And even when you think about your standards check, I think this is what Ian was just saying. When you think about your standards check or your part 3, they do actually note that sort of thing down. It's how we relate to the world outside. But we really got to think about it. So being positive is being positive about the mistakes of other people. It can be really hard. I found it really hard to take a step back.
Yeah, it is difficult. It does take practice. But you just gotta stay, like we talked about at the beginning, as you know, Miss Fiona, just that non-judgmental self. Um, and I don't know what's the blank book, blank head, empty head, quite normal for me. But just not have any preconceived ideas about what the person should be doing and what the person should be saying, because they're not going to have their thoughts are not going to be like anybody else's in the whole wide world. So it's important to be, being interested in what they say, and then just allowing them to reflect on what they've done in a positive way. And if, as you know, if you ask somebody, how did something go? Or how do they feel about that? People generally go to negative straight away. So it's important then that you stop them and say, just tell me what was good first. Then we can discuss other stuff. Tell me what was good, and tell me how we can make the good better, and tell me how we can make the not so good better.
Yeah.
So it's important to stay in control of the positivity and don't let them go down that usual human route of negativity first.
Absolutely. I sometimes I think it's valuable to let them vent. You need to let people vent if you.
Oh
If,
yeah. But that's not what we're talking about. That's different.
yeah. No,
That's letting them be who they are.
yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. So letting them know. Sorry, I think Ian was saying something.
Oh,
And I think it was something like it allowed them to speak up and say the negative thing and then say, brilliant. Now you've got that off your chest, put that aside and then take it from there and acknowledge it. You can't ignore it because then that's not right either.
yeah, we're not in these two episodes, look at me thinking me like Crossroads or something. Sorry for all you younger people, EastEnders or something, episodes. We're not saying ignore the fault.
No,
Absolutely not. You can't do that. They've got to work on it, but it's how you work on it that we're discussing, that we think is really important.
so the point being made here, underlined in doubles, in written in italic and bold italic with a title. Anyway, the important bit is forgotten. I went over it so much.
Ask Ian.
Yeah, but I'll remember in a second. Ah, you are the expert. PDI, ADI, 20 years, 30 years in the industry, 3 weeks in the industry. You know your stuff because you've got to where you are to be sitting with people helping them. So you are the expert and you have this ideal of where you know that they need to be, but it doesn't need to happen right now and you don't need to tell them. I've been told many times not to pull silly faces. I can't do it.
By who?
Many people.
Or many people can go get lost.
No. So, but telling people to do things or not do things, it doesn't change people. Anyway, accept that you're the expert and then be patient with the process. I was with a PDI the other day and I didn't have time to form rapport. I didn't have time for anything else. So it was really hard. But if you have a good relationship with your people, that process you'll be able to say more over time. You agree, Terry? Ian,
Yes, of course.
I wish he'd just like nod occasionally.
He's a bit boring tonight, isn't he?
So bland.
Yeah.
I think he had too much of the old PT stuff.
Yeah. He just explained PT as a physical training.
Ah, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was thinking of something else. Oh, stop interrupting, Ian. Right. Um, uh, yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Got it. He said, accept what the pupil's saying as face value. It is what it
Mm.
is. They're saying it and they're coming from their own perspective. It's pure and it's them and it's fine.
And it's fine for them to be wrong.
Yeah. We don't need to put it in their face. Just need to
No.
work on it. A little bit of time. We are
Yes.
with them for some time.
And yeah, and it's anything else to say from Ian, by the way? Has he got anything else to say? I didn't hear what he said.
No, I think he's all right for the
No,
moment.
he's finished, has he? Um, and also just another way of keeping things positive. If they come up with something that as a fix for something or to improve something, um, and they come up with an idea, it's fine to let them have a go at that, even though you know it's not going to work
Yeah.
because they found out that it's not going to work, which is a positive because they're one step closer to finding out what will work.
And how does
And
that?
don't feel like done something, sorry, and don't feel like done something wrong either.
Yeah.
They've just had a go at something.
No, that's right. Oh, how does that benefit a person post-test if they do what you said, an experiment and find out?
He thinks they're going to remember, they're going to understand.
It's that problem-solving thing. So it's something
Mhm.
that needs to be explored because
Builds their responsibility, which they need.
they do. It's hard post-test. I've been doing some more studies on this stuff.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research over the past couple of years on a lot of things, but the mistakes that people make
Mm.
after they pass, we really need to work on that. I know I'm bragging about my stuff and my upcoming course. However, we
Got an
need
upcoming course, have you, Fiona?
a new one. It's up and coming. I'm really excited about it, but it's exactly this. It's exactly how do we do the things during lessons that mean people are more likely to think about stuff a bit further on. Um, Mostly my one's about speed, but it's also the other things. To develop thinking drivers, we've got to do what you said, Terry, which is, or it may be
Drink
Ian.
lots of beer and whiskey?
It was clever, so maybe Ian said it.
Probably, yeah.
You were saying about let them come up with an idea and explore it, even if it's not the solution they want. I like it.
It's like, what's his face? Edison. When he was asked about something not working. What's his quote about? I haven't made 1,000 mistakes. I've found 1,000 ways it won't work, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't think of that because my memory's not that good. You know what I mean, Freya?
It's information, which is what we said last time. We tend to think of it, and our industry is fault focused.
Bloody hell, is it?
Trained to be fault focused, and it's how it is and how it's normal. That doesn't make it pleasant.
No. And actually, I had 3 PDIs in car last week for the day. None of them are my PDIs, but they all know PDIs of mine, and they kind of have chats with the PDIs, and they kind of intrigued about the stuff that my PDIs are learning. And one of the things we did at the end of the day, they wanted to know about how to be more positive. And we went through a couple of things, and I remember two in the back kind of looked at each other open mouth, going, "This is nothing like what we've been learning." And they could all see the benefits of just being more positive and stop finding bloody faults in everything they do. You know, how the hell does picking out someone's mistakes for every 5 minutes help them learn?
I remember very few things about when I learnt to drive. But the things I do remember were when I messed up, and it was
Yeah,
obvious. I messed
yeah.
up, and there was that. And that's why I also cringe when I realized that I wasn't helping with the positivity in the car, because I was believing I was doing something beneficial for the driver, defending them. And now when someone beeps, I just say, it wasn't you. They weren't bibbing you. I don't know who they were.
That's what I used to do. That's what I ended up used to
Yeah,
do.
no worries. It was someone else, pedestrian over there.
They're waiting. They're waiting for someone they knew. Yeah.
Yeah, hiya. Oh, I know them. Yeah. So, and you can do it. And sometimes it's downright obvious, but it changes it and it makes this positive environment. And if it is that, and then to regain the person in the other vehicle, if we make it positive, where are they going? What are they doing? What's going on for that other person who was a bit to a new driver?
Non-judgmental, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it is. So I think Terry's just asked a oh, Terry. Oh, yeah, the other one.
The other one. Yeah, the other one's asked a question. If only his name was right next to him.
I yeah. I was thinking about the question he was asking, because he was asking it to you anyway, Terry.
Was he? What was he asking?
Let's say someone's either done something that's made the instructor go or said something that's making them uncomfortable, what can they do in the moment to deal with it? What can you do as a coach when someone says something? Shall I tell you what Ian said?
Yes.
He said,
I'm intrigued. If you could do the accent, I'll be even more impressed.
well, give me a minute, I'll do it in a minute. Because but I did it without even realizing it. I said, do you want me to tell you what he said?
Yeah.
Which was ask questions about it. So if Ian was saying something to you about why weren't you listening to him, you could say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that? Why should we ask questions? If someone's done a thing, we need to know more about it, don't we?
Oh yeah, blood. Yeah.
So it's just asking questions about it.
Yeah. What their thoughts are, what their feelings are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about the t-shirt you've got on and why you chose that one this morning, Terry. I could have asked
Yeah.
Ian about his cravat, but he's quite.
Yeah, he likes his cravats. Um, I can't. I have no answer for that. I didn't choose it. It's just what came in my hand out the wardrobe. I
Excellent.
don't. Don't go through clothes going yes, no, maybe. It's like right, go. Sorry, there was no decision.
Really interesting. So you have absolutely, you get it out, and as long as it's in your wardrobe,
Yes.
it's okay for you to wear.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Ah, well, there you go. Different people. I have a feeling if I were to ask, I'm not gonna, but if I were to ask Ian
Hmm.
about his choices in the morning, he might feel differently.
Oh, he will feel differently. He's got to choose what he wears. He's very visual, is Ian. He's got to choose what he wears.
Yeah. Does it make me quite kinesthetic if I've got clothes, I won't wear it because it's itchy or it doesn't feel right or oh
Why have you got clothes that are itchy?
well,
Chuck them in the bin.
yeah, I know. I know. Don't buy them in the first place. I'm getting good at that.
Oh, good, good. Oh,
If, but I will do things, if that color doesn't go with that, I won't wear it.
May I ask you about my t-shirt, by the way? Don't like it.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about why you think I
Do you not like my t-shirt? There
don't.
is actually a story about this t-shirt.
Oh, come on, tell me the story.
Look, it's a story, right? Okay, it's like she cactus, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Just checking Aga because she might be listening. It's fine because she was there. We were on a trip from the cruise ship, and we were sitting in front of a couple of Americans, not an older couple, and we're having a chat with them and how far have you come? We've flown from London and they came from Texas. And London to Buenos Aires, no, to Argentina's a long flight. Yeah, really long. Talk about the flights and everything, and blah blah blah. And we're having a 5 minute chat with them. And then we got off to see some lakes, and it was like a blizzard, and so they stayed on. I came back on the coach, covered in snow. Um, but I started warming up, so I started taking my top off and my jumper and all the things I had, and I had this on underneath. And he said to me, "Oh, are you from Texas?" That's my Texas accent, by the way. And I said, I looked at her, I went, "No." I went, "Oh, I just thought you were from Texas because you have cactus on your t-shirt, and we have cactus in Texas." I'm thinking, we've just been talking to you. You know we're from England. You know you've flown from London. You've heard our accents, and you still think I'm from Texas. I've got cactus on my t-shirts. Are you on drugs? I
No,
didn't say that to him.
they also
But
have
that's
they have cacti.
they have cacti, and every time I wear this t-shirt now, Aga says, "You going Texas?"
No,
No, not again. No.
that was it.
Anyway,
That's,
that was a
that's all I'm
cactus
doing. But
t-shirt
that was
story.
my accent.
Oh, it's a one word.
Aye, because that went Scottish. Uh, no, I'm just, I need to be in the moment. Isn't
Okay,
it
fair enough.
interesting though? You ask questions and you find out all sorts of things about people going on holiday.
Oh, no, it's amazing, isn't it? We talk to them and be interested.
Yeah, being interested, you hear all sorts of stories about t-shirts and that
Yeah,
someone wore one.
yeah. We've had half an hour. What are we doing? We're gonna stop. Call it again.
Um, show you're listening, which is what we did. But that was another thing Ian was saying. He just
Yeah.
told me while you were telling your story, phone me up subtly. Show you're listening because you find out more. And when you find out more, you can help Terry with his t-shirt saga. Also, you find out and then you can start just probing a bit. No one changes their opinions or standards because of an action we take. The things we're talking about, though, the things we're talking about are principles behind the scenes in scaling. And I'm doing it again. I am talking about what we're doing is you ask questions and you get people to give solutions for what they're doing. So that's what Terry said. Ask questions, be interested. When people mess up, they know it, which is what we were talking about before. We need to be unconditionally positive. We need to trust that they'll know and they'll make better decisions once they have more information. Was that a good summary?
Yeah, blood. Very good.
Do have a-
Um, are we gonna tell people that Ian's actually okay?
Well, he's got lockjaw.
You know, I've just realised
What?
why I can't hear him all session, all episode. Sorry,
Oh, he's
he's on
on.
mute.
I could have told him. Uh,
Ah, Ian, unmute yourself next time, man.
yeah,
Crazy chicken.
yeah. Well, it's a good job we could overhear.
Yeah.
Um, the
Good job you
next
can lip read.
The next one, can you send us some ideas, people? We'd love some more ideas because we really love getting into the nitty-gritty. Be positive, there are ways, but first of all, accept the person's doing the best. They are doing the very best they can in the situation they have.
Unconditional positive regard.
Right. Are you ready to have a pose for the end of?
Yes, I'm going to be a cactus pose.
We could do see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. All right, I'm doing C. You got to do deaf stuff.
Huh?
It's the three monkeys. Ian's a bit tongue-tied today. I can't see
I
anything.
see. So I'm meant to be doing that, yeah? Hang on,
Yeah.
did you answer?
Pardon?
What? Hey,
Can't see the button. See you next time, peeps. Thank you.
bye-bye.